here, maximum artifact sanctums in morale tax, and two pre-mathematician 2 Armageddon on this take.
Right, so this is our match for this round. If you've just tuned in, we will have all the cards on the right hand side of the screen, so you don't have to worry about trying to figure out what they are playing. We are able to tell you exactly what they are holding on to. So first cards that are in is Ruben's opening hand. He's got 2 copies of Tour Guide, a Karma card, which works well with Graph, and a Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, which also works well with Graph. Now, there's a problem with Karma card, interestingly enough.
Ah, okay.
But we can show you the Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. That's one of the traps that you're running in Burning Abyss, where you want to discard your cards from your hand. So Rafael's hand, all of those cards just straight went down to his side of the field. Talk about an explosive opening.
He's playing Chain Burn. Don't fall for it, Ruben.
So Ruben did draw into a Riser the Storm Monarch. This is his hand, or was his hand rather, because he immediately went on and summoned a Tour Guide that is supposed to net him a Burning Abyss monster from his deck. Let's check Rafael's options here. He does have a Vanity's Emptiness to stop that from succeeding.
He's going to decide whether or not he needs to use the Vanity's Emptiness here. He knows his opponent's playing Burning Abyss at this point. It's unlikely you're going to play Tour Guide and any other thing. So Rafael's making the decision, can I afford to blow my Vanity's Emptiness this early?
Yes, and he decides that yes is the right answer to this question.
And Artifact Sanctum immediately being played, which will allow Morale Tax to take out
the Tour Guide.
Interestingly enough, that will cause
Vanity's Emptiness to blow up.
Yep. Oh, I think he's explaining he's doing this as a chain. Right, yeah, he's doing it in a chain, so Vanity's Emptiness hasn't resolved yet.
All right.
Yeah, because Chainlink 1, Vanity's Emptiness, Chainlink 2. Yep, and then Vanity's hasn't resolved, so it doesn't blow up.
Yeah, so Vanity still gets to negate Tour Guide, and then after the chain, resolve all the cards that were part of the chain are being sent to the graveyard.
Yeah, okay. Or it wasn't communicated clearly in that.
Yeah, so we just have to confirm that, yeah. So here is Ruben's hand, which changed in that very instant because he just put Karma card and Phoenix Wing Wind Blast face down. Rafael now gets to draw a card. He does that, shows it to the judge, as you can see, holding it up, and he immediately goes for his stick.
For a Shaddoll fusion. Fortunately, Ruben's pretty well protected with both of his discard traps and a Graph, so he's going to be getting maximum value.
So Rafael did draw into a Blackluster Soldier and Warrior at the beginning.
And there's a Light and a Dark monster on his side of the field.
Not to be confused with a Blackluster Dragon, something that I said yesterday.
TM.
Yeah, I should totally trademark that. All right, so Rafael is getting the first action of the game, first damage in. Ruben doesn't seem to mind taking some damage early on.
Yeah, he elects to hold back both of those traps for threats a little bit later on.
Yeah, or for the very likely opportunity that Rafael is going to special summon something else. Oh, he just took the first damage from the smaller monster? Is that it?
Yeah, no, it looks like he's taking damage from both attacks, and during the end phase, he's putting one of the targeted spells or traps back on top of Rafael's deck. Which is interesting, because he could have blocked any of the attacks, or he's doing this in the battle phase, actually, and now he's defending. It's not quite clear where in the phases they are. That's something else that we can't see with the app. All right, no, this is being done in the battle phase from the looks of things. So Shaddoll Hedgehog is attacked. Nope. It's just confusing. It was the end phase.
It was the end phase. So it's Ruben's turn. Now he went for Riser the Storm Monarch.
Brutal. This is going back to Force of the Breaker. 2 cards stacked on top of Rafael's deck from Phoenix Wing Wind Blast and Riser. That's the next 2 turns of Rafael.
That is a very big timeout for Rafael here. His explosive opening, what just happened, it just got changed into one of the slowest starts we've seen in a long time. And Rafael, you can tell he's immediately like shuffling a little bit his hand, and he's not happy with that.
He might actually be out of this game already. I don't know.
Let's check Ruben's hand again. He still has a Tour Guide to follow it up next turn, and a Skarm Malebranche of the Burning Abyss. His one face down card is that super secret Karma card that we can't read for you.
So secret that even we don't know what it is.
And in case you are wondering, you're not familiar with the card, or you just started playing, let's get you the card text, the exact card text for Karma card. It does say discard 1 card to select 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and remove it from play. then remove from play any cards in your opponent's graveyard with the same name as that monster. So, yeah, that is not a bad card, definitely not. Not that helpful. Well, pretty helpful against Burning Abyss, in fact, but not so much.
He's Ruben using it against Rafael, so it's very good against Elstol Construct and stuff because it doesn't send him to the graveyard.
Yeah, okay.
And here we're seeing the compulsory evacuation device being redrawn by
Rafael immediately.
Rafael,
yeah, he just out of the game completely. Like, not two things you have to know about him. Right. So here we have Ruben's hand for the second game. He's got a Shaddoll Dragon, Trap Stun, Phoenix Wing, Wind Blast, Book of Moon, Breakthrough Skill. Once again, Rafael is going first. He does have Vanity's Emptiness, a Moral Tach, Double Cyclone, Super Polymerization, and Shadow Fusion.
Okay, so both of these hands seem pretty slow, actually. The Vanity's Emptiness is going to be very good against a heavy push from Ruben at the start, but...
And there we go. Like, Rafael's hand immediately diminished. He only has 2 more cards in hand, and that's the same after his second turn. He just set an Artifact Sanctum, added that to his field, which is really good to give him something. And Ruben only has a Shaddoll Dragon in hand. And is that correct?
Yes, he's playing 1 Shaddoll Dragon, I believe. That is, according to his list. That would be the one card that I was unable to read.
That is very interesting. And well, his face-down cards are Trap Stun, Phoenix Wing, Wind Blast, Book of Moon, Breakthrough Skill, and Trap Stun. So, Mathematician, the first action, a card that Rafael just drew, but it immediately caused Ruben to flip his Breakthrough Skill to negate the effect.
A very popular turn 1 exchange that we're seeing in all these high-level feature matches. You'll notice that almost every time that turn 1 Mathematician and there's a Breakthrough Skill available, that Breakthrough is being used immediately. And we're seeing Phoenix Wing Wind Blast in the end phase to target one of the back spell or trap cards to set Rafael back.
And that's something we've seen before, and Rafael definitely doesn't want that to happen, but is there anything he can do to stop it? Not quite. I mean, he could destroy his own card with a Double Cyclone.
We're going to see the Trap Stun being flipped to stop the Vanity's Emptiness. And that's also going to... Oh, wait, no, because we do still have Double Cyclone and... Oh, wow, of all the back row cards returned, I believe it was the Morale Attack. Was it a Morale Attack?
So, yeah, it certainly looks like it. This might be the reason why Rafael doesn't mind it, because he could activate the Artifact Sanctum. Well, not anymore because of Vanity's Emptiness, or now because of the Trap Stun. That might have been what he was thinking here.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Ruben drawing for his turn. That was all done during the end phase. Yep, Vanity's Emptiness is going to go down with the Mathematician. Mathematician is going to add 1 card to Rafael's hand, true to his name, and it is the Morale Attack.
It is the Morale Attack, yeah.
Which goes very well, the Double Cyclone that Rafael has.
All right, so Rafael not as out of the game as he was in the first game, second game here. No, first game. He does have 4 face-down cards now, so one of these 3 cards, most likely the Moral Attack again, yes, there you go, is back on the field. And the action is coming from Ruben at this point in time with his Sir dishing out some damage.
Yeah, he's just going in for an easy poke. He's holding on to that Shaddoll Dragon. He wants to test what Rafael's hiding in this back row. We're going to see a Trap Stun, which is a perfect answer to Artifact Sanctum, because if you negate and destroy the Sanctum just triggers and takes out another card with it. So dealing with Artifact Sanctum is very efficiently is very, very difficult, and Trap Stun is just an excellent card for doing that.
Yeah. So Rafael can't like what he's seeing here. Takes another shot from Sir, which... Are the life points up to date?
I don't believe that. Yeah, there it is.
Now, yeah. Now we have it. Yeah, the first time it attacked over the Mathematician, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just
so it was just 100, yeah, there we go. So
and another Artifact Sanctum.
This is the point in time where Rafael must be feeling quite frustrated here, but he does have an answer himself. It is the Double Cyclone that he can chain to his own Artifact Sanctum and destroy his opponent's Vanity's Emptiness. And Ruben now will finally not be able to stop his opponent's effects from resolving. because the other face-down card that he has is a Book of Moon, and that's not going to do that much.
Worst case, he could flip his Sir face down to stop Moraltag destroying it, but I can see that being quite unlikely because Moraltag could just still run over Sir in battle, and Ruben would essentially be throwing a Book of Moon away.
There are the other options that Ruben is holding on to. We got Shaddoll Dragon, Vanity's Emptiness, and Karma Cut. So another emptiness. This card is...
It's very good, and we're in a situation where both players are going quite slow, and Ruben's tour guides can blow this game wide open. As long as these Malabranch monsters are Burning Abyss monsters are in play, there's just so many crazy combos going on. Like we've got Graf and Sir currently rotating on Ruben's side from the graveyard. Sir getting back Graf when it triggers, getting something else out of the deck. He's thinning his deck and he's going to get to those tour guides pretty quick, and we're not seeing Rafael getting any of his Shaddoll beasts or anything to start getting out to start accelerating his game plan. I believe is that the third Artifact Sanctum? Wow.
Yes, that is pretty tough luck for Rafael here. But and because, like we said before, Ruben can stop it again with another Vanity's Emptiness that he has.
That'll be 3 very difficult trap cards to deal with that are very powerful, answered 3 times efficiently by Ruben. That's actually incredible.
Yeah, he certainly can't complain about the way that he's drawing his answers here so far. So Rafael gets to add the Sanctum to his field. 2 cards in his hand: Super Polymerization, Shaddoll Fusion. And now he has to hope, or he's hoping at this point in time, that his Sanctum is going to resolve for once. Ruben did draw into a tour guide from the Underworld, but it didn't stay in his hand for long. He summoned it right away, causing, this time, Rafael to flip a Breakthrough Skill. Did we have that Breakthrough Skill on our app before? Because I don't remember reading that.
I actually was looking at the screen, so I didn't catch that.
All right, so a Breakthrough Skill is getting negated with a Book of Moon because the monster's no longer face up on the field.
Yeah, the Skarm already destroyed itself when the tour guide was summoned because the Skarm was not negated. Book of Moon is actually, because Ruben controls a face-down monster. A face-down monster is not a Burning Abyss monster. So Graf is going to be destroyed. And then Ruben's already looking for his next Burning Abyss target, and he's going to get Sir. Oh, it's during the end phase. Oh yeah, I think Ruben's not realized. The monster's effect is negated, of course, because he summoned it with Tour Guide, so Graf won't destroy itself because it's being negated. Sorry, I'm being a bit slow on the uptake here. Because normally a face-down monster causes Burning Abyss monsters to destroy themselves, but Tour Guide's effect negating it, it's going to make everything okay. Just stop worrying about it. Let's move on.
All right. So here we go. According to the app, we got 5 cards on Ruben's side of the field. That is not correct. You see the Book of Moon in the graveyard, so no worries there. Rafael now drew into a Mathematician, and it's gonna speed up his game plan some more. Let's see. Well, Karma Card is not gonna go down here. Like, why would you? And Vanity's Emptiness also doesn't do much at this point in time. First, Ruben wants to wait for Rafael attempting to special summon something.
Yeah, to a point where he can get the best benefit from it. Chances are he may flip it up if that Squamata sends a Falco to the graveyard.
So
okay, no, was that? Okay, I'm not. Okay. So we're going to see Mathematician attacking over Graf? No, that must have been Morale attack because Graf has 1500 defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go, and now he's taking out the tour guide. So Rafael is ahead on the field again. This is his side of the field. 1 Moraltag face up, 1 Moraltag face down in his spell and trap card zone. The Shaddoll Falco is a 1-set monster, and he now has just 1 more card in hand, and that is the Shaddoll Fusion. So if Ruben tries to fight back with a big Exceed summon from his extra deck, for example, Rafael can then come back with the Shaddoll Fusion. However, keep in mind that Ruben holds on to Vanity's Emptiness face down. So he starts his turn with a Tour Guide again.
Yep, we're going to see another Burning Abyss monster. Ruben just quickly.
He found the
checking.
third Vanity's Emptiness from his deck.
Talk about having all the answers. Like,
yeah, this could be very frustrating for Rafael if he like resolves his effects in the wrong order or something like that.
yeah, Ruben is gonna. Well, Rafael's just gonna have to keep his cool here. It may be frustrating to see when your opponent draws 3 Vanity's Emptiness and get maximum value out of them, chaining to your own special one-off special summon effects.
And at the same time having perfect answers to your artifact sanctums with his trap stuns.
Yeah, it's just a little bit crazy how well Ruben's been able to deal with that, because normally artifact sanctum causes so many problems. Okay, Rafael lets that one go. So there's now Dante.
Right, so he is keeping his cool. Well, does he mind Dante doing anything here?
Well, he's got the super polymerization, which can answer the light attribute Dante. He's got Artifact Sanctum, which he could activate, but then that's going to get negated by Vanity's Emptiness. So Rafael's considering, because, yeah, he's going to go for the super polymerization play.
Yeah, there we go. So he gets rid of his own Shell Fusion, which he could have activated for free the next turn, but this way he denies his opponent sending cards from his deck to the graveyard and triggering more effects. So it's an investment, but it's going to pay out. Rafael wants to earn some dividends here.
Yeah, Ruben will get his Dante activation here as well, so he'll be able to get a card back. We'll see how Rafael goes. I think he's hovering the Shaddoll Beast to start getting some more cards.
And there we have the big puppet angel, is what some people call it, for whatever reason. And that's El Shaddoll Construct, the boss monster of the Shaddolls. So this is Rafael's field after all of these effects have resolved here. And Ruben loses his Exceed monster, but returns something to his hand.
Yeah, he gets Dante's effect to add back Skarm, and then the Graph, which was a material that was sent to the graveyard, as a result of Dante being sent to the graveyard, will trigger, and then Sir is being added to Ruben's side of the field.
So he didn't mind losing that Dante too much now, did he?
No, that's another one of the problems with dealing with Dante efficiently. It's because it's all the monsters trigger, it's very likely that you're going to get value out of it. Sorry, PJ appears to be trying to get our attention, but we have no idea what he's jumping around, and it's kind of funny to look at, to be honest. But we'll just give him a pen and paper and get him to actually write the message down.
So okay, back to Rafael.
Yeah, back to where it matters, right here.
So these are the options that Ruben is holding on to, and now he's declaring an attack into the face-down Shaddoll Falco that Rafael controls.
Yep, the Sir has 1600 attack against that 1400 defense. So that's definitely going to be able to take that out.
And what is Rafael thinking here? Like after the first game where he really couldn't do much with those effects that returned cards to the top of his deck, how is he feeling about the second game at this point in time?
He should be feeling okay. He's got pretty commanding field presence right here.
His one card in hand is an Artifact Ignition.
He still needs to play this game smart, but he certainly isn't in a bad position. Ruben is also must be very aware that Ruben is not in a terrible position, has lots of options open to him. It's not like either player is limping at this stage. They're both there. So it's Rafael's going to want to be careful, but at the same time he knows he has the advantage.
Right. So Ruben is adding the third Vanity's Emptiness to his spell and trap card zone. That must be frustrating for Rafael. I mean, not quite yet, but once he flips that card face up.
Yeah, it's assuming he gets there's a window for that Vanity's Emptiness.
All right, so you might be wondering why is he shuffling so many cards? Well, those are his cards in his hand, Ruben's hand. Shaddoll Dragon. Still wondering about that one, to be honest.
Shaddoll Dragon. It works with his mathematicians. Is he playing? I don't believe he's playing mathematician. Oh yes, he's playing free mathematician, so you can use it as just a quick answer. He's not playing. You can play foolish burial to get it.
But if he draws into it, can he do anything with it?
If his opponent puts a threatening fusion monster down, he can send it back to his opponent's hand when they attack into it.
So there are some
uses.
Appliances, yeah.
And it triggers off of a Dante activation, so you can then take out a spell and trap.
Still interesting. We haven't seen that too often. So Rafael is stepping down on the pedal here again, attacking with his El Shaddoll construct, trying to get rid of Ruben's monster. However, the Karma Cut is now taking out the construct.
Yep, and as construct is being banished, the Shaddoll fusion will not be added back to Rafael's hand.
Yep.
Well, he won't be adding a Shaddoll card. I don't believe it was summoned through a Shaddoll fusion. It was a super polymerization.
Yes.
That card came from, sorry.
So Rafael adds a face down spell or trap card, that is Artifact Ignition. There you go, in case you're not familiar with that. It's like a super MST for the Artifact archetype.
Oh, this card is absolutely incredible in the Artifact archetype. Not only can you do all the same things that you love about Mystical Space Typhoon, but you also get to set an artifact directly from your deck to the graveyard. And if your opponent does make that turn 1, plays Mystical Space Typhoon targeting your Mystical Space Typhoon, if your Mystical Space Typhoon's in Ignition, you take away their battle phase for it. So you come out on top with that.
Right. So Ruben currently searching his deck. There was a short involvement of the judges. I'm not quite sure why. So you're running out of running out of targets? No. No.
Well, potentially. He has gone through quite a few of his cards.
So he's drawing a card, and now he summons Sir, Malebranche of the Burning Abyss.
Perhaps we're going to see another copy of Dante coming out.
Unlike what we've seen before, he plays 3 copies of Dante, the boss monster of this archetype.
Yeah, in the office we were joking around. We wish that we could raise the card limit to 5, just so we could summon 5 Dantes. 5 Ds, yes. They're not dragons, but...
I'm sure some people would love that.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that get really mad about that as well.
Yeah, you've just lost some fans with that comment.
So let's see where Ruben decides to go with this Dante. There's no more fear of super polymerization. That trick has already been blown by Rafael, as opposed to Madrid, when it was very possible for player to play up to 3 copies.
So he's thinking about like activating the effect and how many cards he wants to send from his deck to the graveyard. Is that it?
Potentially, or Rafael's considering a response. Rafael's checking everything before giving an OK, so it's most likely that the hold-up is on Rafael's side.
So let's check Rafael's options again.
Yeah, he's got an Artifact Ignition, which he could use on his own Morale Tack to activate it. He could use his Artifact Sanctum. He is going to go for the Ignition, targeting his own Morale Tack.
All right, so Rafael's 1 card in his hand, in case you're wondering, is a Shaddoll Beast. Now the second Vanity's Emptiness in this game has been flipped. And Rafael has no way to answer that now, does he?
He's not going to be able to stop the Artifact Sanctum from resolving. So, yeah, we're going to see Morale Tack's not going to be summoned and going to be able to take out Dante. And immediately that Vanity's Emptiness is going to be sent away, along with 3 cards from Ruben. Important to note, he has sent a breakthrough skill which has extra value from the graveyard, which is another reason why breakthrough skill is so powerful in the Burning Abyss archetype.
So that's very good for Ruben here.
Yeah, it's just added bonus to something he was going to do anyway, and he's getting extra options out of it.
Yeah. So there's the attack over moral attack, and then Dante switches to defense, which is not really back draw of the card.
No, it's not. It's not a drawback on Dante. It protects it from number 101. It has a huge defense. I mean, even the mighty Utopia can't attack over Dante's 2500 defense. But that's going to be turned into a downed magician, just so the Dante's extra protected to ensure that it's getting its effect off.
Yep. So Ruben adding a trap stun to making matters worse for Rafael. I mean, it wasn't like Rafael was having troubles with all the answers that Ruben had.
And another Vanity's Emptiness coming up to shut down a Shaddoll Falco play.
So this is really, really going not Rafael's way here. So here's Vanity's Emptiness again for you guys. You can also get a secret rare version by now.
Yeah, in your LC 5Ds. The Downed Magician does pierce. So that's going to be running over the Mathematician and doing quite a bit of damage. And then Mathematician triggers sending a material to the graveyard, which of course is going to be Dante. Dante then activates in the graveyard, allowing Ruben to return a Burning Abyss card to his hand.
Yeah, so all of that is good news for Ruben and very bad news for Rafael indeed.
Yeah, now Rafael has to deal with two really big monsters and a Vanity's Emptiness. We've talked about this lots of times this weekend.
And the trap stun. I mean, if he would have, I mean, his Sanctum again, right now it can't do anything because of the Vanity's Emptiness. But even if it could, there would still be the trap stun to stop it one more time.
Ruben's looking to take the game next turn because, yeah, he could flip up trap stun and then play his